Hello, and thank you for joining me today. In this week's face-to-face series, I'm talking with Gary Tham, who is the proud owner of one of Sihanoukville's newest gambling clubs, the Winners Club. We're going to be talking a little bit about the situation on the ground in Sihanoukville and also his new venture. Welcome back, Gary. Thank you very much for joining us again from Sihanoukville in Cambodia. Can we start off by just asking you a little bit about what the situation's like on the ground there right now in Sihanoukville? Are you seeing any pickup in tourism?
In terms of tourism, I think yes, there has been a big jump in terms of normality. Cambodia apparently is the first in Asia to literally open up its doors to basically everyone who had 3 injections, and they're not requiring any quarantine or any deposit. It's literally just pay for air ticket and you get to come to this place. So the number of tourists is climbing again, which is good news. In terms of for the gaming industry, it's not that pleasant at the moment because people has been locked in for a long time, and it does take time for people to get used to such a lifestyle, because people tend to look for holidays rather than entertainment at the moment.
And also, I guess Sihanoukville was a big destination for Chinese players and tourists. I'm guessing you're without those entirely at the moment. Is that right?
Yes and no. There are still Chinese around. There are still Chinese tourists around, and they do still contribute to quite a percentage of the general revenue in town. But there has been, as you are aware, China is still having their COVID outbreak at the moment. So getting people in from China and out back to China, it's proven to be really, really, really difficult. And I heard some of the people were saying that tickets goes up to as much as 5 to 10 grand US.
Well,
yeah, so
you really got to have a good reason to come then.
Yeah. So it's a big number actually. Yep.
We're hearing in Macau that Chinese gamblers, frequent gamblers to Macau, are being denied visas. Are you hearing anything like that in Cambodia?
Not so much. Not so much about visas being denied, but rather than they're not able to exit due to the lockdown. Yeah, it's not so much about that really.
So if you went onto a casino floor in Sihanoukville right now, what would it look like?
It's still hyped up. Not as crowded as it used to be, but the floors, I would say, is about 50% occupancy when you were around back then, post pre-COVID time. But the crowds are different. So majority of the crowds now are the middle income groups and the lower income groups, and they have a good mix of Indonesians, Malaysians, Koreans, a little bit less Chinese. Yeah, it's pretty much all over Asia people now.
That's very interesting. Are the casinos there making more of an effort to market towards those other markets?
Seems to be the case at the moment because, again, because China is pretty much in a situation where people couldn't get in or get out. So they have to move on to some other target segments, neighboring countries maybe.
And I understand you've got a new venture. What are you doing now?
Yeah, so I've owned a small casino myself now. It's known as Winners Club. So the target segment is pretty much on the low and middle income group, where people would come by and enjoy as group of friends rather than coming in to play off their fortune. So it's more of people coming for free beers, free food, and they just play for fun. And when time's up, they just move on back to work or go home and sleep. So that's more of the client segment that we're doing. So it's a very small club. I can send over some photos later. Yes. We have 3 tables, just 3 tables, and 18 machines. So it's a rather small club with free food and free flow of beers. As a
Free flowing beers, nice. And whereabouts is it?
Sorry.
Whereabouts is it?
It's near to the north side of Sihanoukville, further north near to the Angkor Beer factory, and within the radius of 500 meters, we have a very good community of Vietnamese, Indonesians, and working Chinese level people. So we have pretty decent group of clientele around the area. The name of the hotel is called Hong Guan Hui. It's a Chinese built hotel, so the name is Hong Guan Hui. Yeah, but the name of the club itself that I'm running is called Winners Club.
So these are expatriates who are actually living there, who are very much part and parcel of the local community.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a couple of regular French guys and Germany guys who come by for roulettes and beers, of course.
And how's it going?
So far so good. We're just prepping things up to improvise day by day.
When did you actually start?
In April. So it's not long, it's brand new.
Fantastic. That's very exciting. And what are the plans going forward? Do you think there's more opportunity for this kind of small localized club around the area? Or?
In my perspective, I think that's the way to go at the moment. Given the fact that people do tend to spend less on entertainment, and they tend to spend more on food and leisure. So I guess for businesses, small businesses like mine here, we just have to adapt and find our way to fit in so that people will feel good. They have a good time. Everybody gets to have a good time, and they can save some here and there and have fun.
Well, we wish you all the very best with that, for sure. And hopefully next time we're in Sihanoukville, we can come by and see. But just give me a bit more of a colour on what's been happening in Sihanoukville over the lockdown. Has it cleaned up? Have the roads improved? How are things there now?
Sihanoukville, it's beautiful now. As a matter of fact, Sharon, it's just a wonderful place to be in now. It's really, really beautiful. The roads are all light with asphalts. So you have wide roads, 2 lanes up, 2 lanes down. The sewer system has been improved. There's no more flooding. The public utilities, for example, garbage collection, all had been ramped up by a private entity. So you don't smell trash around town anymore. You don't get flooding. Rain is still as bad. That's Cambodia. But we don't get flooding here. And we got traffic lights. So it's getting better.
It's a bit safer.
It is a safe place now. And there's a lot of surveillance cameras in town. It's full of surveillance cameras in all public spaces. So you do, at a certain degree of safety in terms of feeling, I do feel pretty safe.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Gary, and giving us an update on your projects and what's going on the ground in Sihanoukville. That's great.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you for joining us today. Please tune in every Friday for our series of interviews with thought leaders in Asia's gaming industry.